Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidate interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm your interviewer, Shell Gross. I would like to introduce Evan McSorley, running for Alder in District 2. As we begin, I'd like you to give an opening statement about the educational, vocational, and civic experience you have, which qualifies you for this office, and why you are running for Alder.
Good afternoon, Shell. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to say thank you for having me on. I look forward to expressing my interest in running for city council. I moved to Madison approximately 5 years ago. I didn't know anybody in the town. I didn't know anything about the neighborhoods, what makes Madison great, the cultural things, the restaurants, the activities, the hobbies that everybody seems to cherish and love about this city. I know that Madison is a growing town. I'm in my late 20s. I want to be active with my neighbors and with my neighborhood. I care about building strong neighborhoods in Madison. I believe that together we are stronger, and that as a team, we're able to come to the table and draw some long-term plans, not just what's good for right now, but rather making sure that we grow sustainably and that we are moving forward in the right direction so that 10 years from now, we can look back and say, we really did a good job. I believe in the importance of continuity with public service, and I'm here to put my foot in the circle.
Thank you. What actions or programs would you support to enhance public safety in Madison? And in particular, what is your position on the use of body cameras by Madison police officers?
A few months ago, I attended the Madison Community Police Academy. I learned a lot about what the values of the police force here in Madison are. I think that there's a lot of good things that the Madison Police Department is trying to move forward with. So there are different programs like the CARES program. That is a program that has proven to be working well, and that the city council in the last cycle, as well as moving forward, will continue to support. I believe in supporting neighborhood police officers so that they can continue to grow relationships more on a one-on-one basis with the neighbors, so that when there is an issue or when the police is asked to get involved, that the neighbors feel more comfortable with the services that the police are providing. I also believe in the ability that as a community, we can help police ourselves to some degree. Now, there is a place for police officers in most circumstances when they're called, but I do believe that Madison is moving forward in the right direction with that. As far as body cameras go, every situation is going to be different. We have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. I do think that body cameras have proven useful in many scenarios, and I would support continuing to explore those options.
Thank you. What do you see as the most important environmental issues the city needs to address? What will be your priorities for the council on these issues?
It's no secret that Madison sits in between two lakes. There are many surrounding lakes. Specifically in District 2, we have seen an issue with flood zones as well as stormwater runoff. I support increasing management of rainwater and stormwater runoff. In particular, if you look over James Madison Park, there from a satellite image, you can actually see a dark plume in the lake. That is something that the city is looking to address. I know that there's many things that we can do to help reduce the amount of stormwater going into the lakes, but we also need to monitor the water that's leaving the lakes during those flood zone time issues. So I like to kiteboard. I spend a lot of time swimming in the lake, and I'm very pro environment. And as a city council, once again, I think we take a step back, and as a team, we look at the bigger picture and see how can we proactively reduce our risk and our footprint on our surrounding environment.
What is your position on increasing the pay for alders?
I'm not getting involved with the city council for the pay. I'm happy that there is some incentive to working for and with the city, but it's to answer directly, it's not something that I'm particularly focused on. I think there's many other issues that the city council needs to address before we discuss something along those lines.
Thank you. What, if anything, do you think the city should be doing to support economic development?
Loaded question. Economic development is always on the front of our minds. It's always about, where is Madison going to be in 5 years and in 10 years? Where is Madison going to be in 20 years? How do we balance the city operating and capital budget? So every penny counts. At the end of the day, it's what the community ends up paying through taxes. So I think that when we are balancing the operating budget, we need to make sure that we are spending every dollar in the right place, and that we are looking to make sure that Madison dollars are progressing the city and not just adding to the pile of spending on things that aren't necessarily at the focus point of our community.
Thank you. How do you see racial disparities impacting constituents in your district? And what would you propose to address these?
Madison's District 2 is a very diverse community, and it's not just between racial differences, but also age differences. There's folks here who are in their 20s, there are folks here who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and even more than that. So I think that we as alders represent every single person, no matter your skin color, your sexual orientation, your age. I'm here to support and represent my neighbors, and I'm here to increase and improve everyone's quality of life in Madison. Beyond that, I don't look at anybody any differently, no matter how much money they make, what they bring to the table in terms of financial contribution. Everybody has an equal say in what the city is going to do to be better.
What are the most critical issues that you see facing the people in your district? And what would you propose to address these?
Madison, across the entire city, is facing a housing issue. You know, there's a lot of renters in Madison. There are a lot of homeowners in Madison. There are folks who have just moved to the city, and there are folks who have grown up here. Everybody is feeling the squeeze and the stress of housing and the support that it's receiving. So I'm, as an alder, and as a renter, I feel and I see that there are opportunities for developers to provide more housing. With the demand for housing, we need to increase the supply. Through that, we'll be able to get a better grasp on controlling the hiked rent prices, as well as the opportunities for more housing to be available. Over the next 2 decades, I've read that Madison will have an influx of close to 70,000 folks. So we need to find a way to support that and grow sustainably, and not just shoot from the hip and build wherever we want, but make sure that we're looking at the big picture, and that as a council, we're here to support that initiative.
What would you like to say to the viewing audience as we complete this interview?
I'd like to say thank you to all of our neighbors. I'd like to say thank you to the folks who work for the city. I'd like to say thank you to the other candidates who are running for alder, whether that's in my district or someone else's district. I know that it takes some courage, and it also takes a lot of time, patience, and energy to be willing to put your foot in the circle. At the end of the day, we're all here to make Madison a better home and a better place for each other. I think that we all love and support this city. It's a very unique place. And at the end of the day, thank you to everyone who gets involved, and please get out and vote. There's a primary on February 21st, and then the election on April 4th. So please get out and vote.
I want to thank Evan for speaking with us today, and the viewing audience for taking the time to know your candidates. As Evan just did, I want to remind everyone the primary election day is Tuesday, February 21st. The general election is Tuesday, April 4th. As with every election, please vote. On behalf of Madison City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, I thank you for joining us.